Dun 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 dun.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to T-Pop.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's gonna be gaming oriented this week. Hi
We
everyone,
have
I'm your
so
host
much
Dorky
to
Dev.
talk about.
Welcome to the HarHar podcast, or Dev, whatever. Fucking hell, I gotta get that transition
What?
right. Dev,
Just
Dev,
Dev,
just
right?
Dev. Yeah.
I don't know. I think everybody that watches this knows you as Dorky Dev by now. It was just K J and J that honestly was the real confusion.
Well,
That
also
Steven.
just like Jim, Eclectic, Steven, Shriekhuff.
Jim and Eclectic. Okay, that's true.
Those
Jim and
two's names
Eclectic.
are not anything related to their name. You and I have
No.
our name in our name.
That's true.
That's
Some people.
we
some
have our
people
name
call
in our
that
superhero
creative.
name.
Some people call that creative. I just call it convenient. That's really
Yeah,
what that was.
100%.
I wasn't even the one that came up with that. Did I ever tell you that?
No. Who came
Yeah,
up
that
with
was
it?
Torn.
Oh, right.
Yeah, me and Torn was just messaging back and forth one day, and I was just like, dude, I really want to change my name because like something that's like rolls off the tongue better. And he's like, what about Caber J? I think he was drunk at the time. It's just like
That
wow.
sounds like a drunk porn thing.
Wow, he's more creative drunk than I was sober, apparently.
Well, did I ever have I ever told you the origin of my name? I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
The
you did. It
lengthy
was
name
like,
that I had?
it was like, yeah, I don't remember it, but
It
like, I remember
was
hearing. It was like
A,
during the first year that we were doing this.
Yeah.
And then,
it was D, so this would be the first time for audio listeners probably then. So the
true.
name was originally going to be, and it's still my Steam like account name. In the sense of that, like, if I have to sign in, I have to remember the order that I made this fucking name.
oh, I was about to say, like, cause wait, no, it's not.
My profile name is that.
Your profile name is Dev.
But
right,
the
yeah.
account name, which you can't change in some cases,
Oh my god.
is the original name that I came up with, which was D. I think it's D A. It's dorky, goofy, geeky, awesome nerd named Devin. DGGANN Devin.
Why?
One of my biggest influences originally on doing this kind of stuff was SSOHPKC or Seamus from the Creatures.
Okay.
I was like, that's my version of this. But then, like, after I really thought about it, I'm like, no, you're not doing this.
Yeah, I'm about to
Pick
say, that's
something.
It's like a bad idea. My
So you want to know
original
how it
name
was? It was
What?
combining parts of the name, but I only needed to do it once. I was like, what about like Dorky Dev and Dorky Dev Gaming? There we go. There's the name.
Dorky Dev Gaming. See, and that's was it's so funny. Like with mine, I was so proud of Gaming Caver. I was actually very proud of it because that I transitioned to that had the potential of a brand from an old high school gamer tag I had, just double kick shredder.
That's still
I
pretty
was like-
cool.
I was like, why? It's like cool if you're trying to be, I don't know. It's cool if you're trying to be cooler than I am in reality. I think it's really just what that.
You wanna know my brother-
that's
my
what
brother-
this boils down to.
My brother has the coolest name on Xbox.
Hit me with it.
It was an auto-generated one. Thornless Pluto.
Auto generator. Wait, what?
Thornless Pluto.
Thornless Pluto?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Unique, usable, very usable, but I don't think I would use it.
I think it's rad. It was auto-generated, and we all kind of went like, "Oh, that's pretty good. That's not
Hey, I want to
bad."
ask your opinion on something.
Yes.
So my wife just came down here.
Yes.
Down to the bottom of the stairs. She walked up to my desk. She had her phone like she was taking a picture or recording me or whatever. And so I muted up and I asked her, "What are you doing?" She says, "Don't worry about it." My question is, should I worry?
Yes. 100% every time.
Dev said, "Yeah, immediately. Zero hesitation."
Have you listened to her podcast?
Using your podcast as reference. Oh, she's right there. Who are you on the phone with? Oh, hi. I heard her from here. She's on the phone with my mother-in-law. Your daughter married a dork. I don't really know how else to say it.
No, I'm right here. You're married to her.
Huh?
You said your wife married a dork. I'm like, no, I'm over here. You're the one married to her.
Oh. Sure. Why did I use dork? I never used dork.
I don't know. That was weird.
What happened? Ah, shit. It's contagious. Oh, man. So I feel like I should tell you, like, I'm watching our stream back right now, and I don't know if it's an issue, but it keeps pausing my playback. Could just be on my end, but
I'm not getting any issues for drop frames or anything, so
okay. Well, then it's probably just on my end. Then. No worries. Or it could just be, Twitch, because hey,
they've
they're
been having
doing good.
issues all day from what I hear.
They're doing good today. Yeah,
The hell was all that?
they're doing good today. Not to mention, lately.
Yeah.
We
Real
won't
quick.
go there. We won't go there. We have too much other bullshit.
Yeah.
Stuff.
To explain really quick for people watching on YouTube or currently watching live on Twitch on Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
When we're on time.
We were on time-ish. So, why am I wearing a purple Santa hat? If you're listening to this as an audio version, just timestamp it, go to the video. You'll find it. The reason is I'm currently doing a charity stream over on my channel over the next, up until like the 24th of December of 2020. If you're listening to this afterwards, there might be some leeway to still donate, but none of the events are still going to be happening. But I am raising money for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Currently at about $200. And the link is right here. I will also be posting this in the descriptions of all the recorded versions of this. So you can go donate over there. I have some fun challenges, some fun goals, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Question.
Yes.
Oh wait, will this link tell me possibly my thing? So like, do you have, and because I couldn't catch your stream in its entirety, but do you have goals, just stretch goals, or do you have certain, if a certain dollar amount gets donated, you do this or that?
Every $10 I spin a wheel with punishments on it. So,
Cool.
including
That's good
Bean
to know.
Boozle, which is honestly
That's good to
the
know.
worst
See,
fucking thing
So
ever invented.
I tuned in just in time.
For Sunday nights,
Yes.
when I had the Bean Boozle attack,
Yeah.
that was awful.
Like you just kept so like that was just a wheel. The wheel just kept hitting Bean Boozle.
Yeah. Well, it's on there 4
right.
times.
Yeah. You have the wheel because you have a virtual wheel. You basically had the wheel that I used.
Yeah. It's the one I
Yeah,
used for Rock
that's
Band.
Yeah. Really, honestly, I feel it would have behooved you to like, and I'm aware that we do things on a budget, but I swear, the virtual wheel like has a mind of its own. Like I'm convinced it has a mind of its own.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what virtual wheel you're using; it's got a mind of its own.
Yeah.
So I would have like made one, like
You guys yelled at me the last time I said we should have one made.
for future. Okay, that was for the charity thing that we were trying to do with like a collab of like multiple different people.
It still would have worked the same. I would have spun it right here.
I
I would've
feel like
spun
that
it right
was-
here.
No, that was like, I don't know. That to me felt like added logistics with other stuff. But for your stuff, I might be splitting hairs. I'll give you that much. I might be. I don't think I am. But for
It
your
makes the same
stuff, like,
difference. Because no matter what, I have to set up a camera on the wheel.
Yeah. For future content, I'm definitely making a physical wheel because I swear my luck has to improve, right?
No, it doesn't. Trust me.
It's got to.
After fucking Sunday.
Yeah, no, yours is just like, eh. So yeah, cool.
You know, honestly,
Good
the
to
sour
know.
shots aren't even that bad.
Good to know that's a very nice, easy goal. So if someone was just to come up and wanted to give $100 to the children, that they can do
And
that.
yeah, you can do that. There's stretch goals too, like, at 250 currently is I'll be doing a onesie stream.
Have you met that yet?
No, I'm about like 50 away.
Oh, perfect.
Maybe we'll hit that tonight. Who knows? I have
you
weird,
might.
eerie feeling.
You might.
Something is happening tonight, which means who knows where we are if you're listening to this later. The goal is to raise 2,500, by the way. Which, if that's the case, I will be bleaching my hair. So, which means I will be getting a haircut beforehand. This isn't gonna be like current length hair.
Stay gold, pony boy.
It's gonna be like my normal haircut, Dev. Like shorter
man.
with the.
Which is more like Pony Boy from the old movie when you really think about
Okay,
it.
will you fuck off? Fucking bitch.
Can't help it. Oh, it's too
God
good.
damn it. Motherfucker, this fucking guy over here.
Man.
Anyways, but yeah, that's going on over on my end of stuff, and that's kind of how my last week's been, because I've been streaming consistently throughout December. Just because I wanted to stream a lot in December, just because I felt it would be fun. And then I'm having a blast.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Genuinely, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. It's definitely more of a challenge than I've put myself through streaming wise, because I've never consistently streamed this much streaming wise.
Yep. It's a different animal.
Oh, 100%. And you know what?
Any kind of consistency is a different kind of animal. Like, and on top of doing how much you're doing.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like, doing the fucking streams miss charity thing. Not like fucking as in like, goddamn it, I hate that I'm doing it. No, more like, goddamn, it is a challenge to get everything that I wanted to for all of this. Like, just a little behind the scenes, the hat was in the shop yesterday, that's why I didn't wear it. Because Kappa Claus wanted to put Kappa or Kappa Claus on the front of it, but he forgot he made it too felty, so it didn't quite work. So you know that's why it's not exactly what I wanted it. Certain stuff like that happens.
Which is you just gotta roll with.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta roll with it, man.
Exactly. And you know, it is what it is. So, but I'm gonna keep doing this because I mean it's fucking fun, mind you. The big challenge is if I hit one of the goals, which is like I have it at 1,000. Yeah, 1,000. I do 100 days of streaming.
Yeah. So the trick there, Dev. Pacing. So, like, couple hours. And that's it.
For most nights, yeah.
Right. So here's the thing. It's cheating, but I honestly think HarHar should count.
No.
I'm just saying. I think HarHar should count.
Because this is like only 2 hours max.
I know it's completely separate from everything that you do.
Yeah. That's why it doesn't count.
But I think HarHar should count.
That's why it doesn't, because it's completely separate. I mean, it's a lot of me here, but like it's separate. Also, I'm doing giveaways during the thing too. If you want to participate in those.
Who are you cosplaying as?
Who, me?
You want to? Yeah, you.
Oh, I'm gonna be cosplaying Dwight from Dead by Daylight.
Ah, okay. Because I was about to say, because whoever it is, you wanted to cosplay as them, because it's only $25.
Well, it's an easy goal. It's a really easy stretch goal. I have to do a fucking fitness stream. I'm rewatching Death Note. God, I hate myself for that one.
You should have the onesie and the Death Note should have been
flipped. Maybe.
Understand, I would have been equally as eager.
Yeah,
to help you meet whatever goal. But
also, I'm first time baking. I need to ask my dad's girlfriend for a recipe for something to bake easily. That's not gonna be too much of a challenge. And I'll do that probably this Friday.
I'm assuming you don't want to go too much pleb with it and be like cookies, right?
Well, I don't have a lot of stuff to bake
on
in.
Cookies, I love cookies.
If I do cookies, I'm gonna do more of a challenging cookie, if that makes sense. But we'll figure that out later.
Throw in some icing decorations.
Yeah, something that's not just like cookie. Because cookie's easy. Cake and shit, on the other hand, is harder, but I don't have the stuff to make a cake.
This 2,000 goal. I'm living for the Streams Miss album.
I have a couple of the songs started just in case, or ideas for some of the songs, but writing all of that shit's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Just do like an old-timey album and only have like 6 songs on it. That used to be considered an album, right?
Yeah, I gotta do 10, let's be real. Or even, like, I honestly, if I'm doing this, I almost have to do 12 for the 12 days of charity that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Technically 13 days, but don't do the math. It's a baker's dozen. Get it? Because I'm doing a baking stream. But still, yeah. So that's going on with me. How's your week been, by the way, to transition off of that?
Yeah, you know, my week's been okay. I'm at the boring facility this week, so not a whole lot really going on. I sat bored in the office for pretty much the entire day yesterday. Like, I took my Switch and made significant progress in Hyrule Warriors. Kind of bored. Like, nothing happening, kind of thing. Which, fun game, by the way. Like, people should buy it. I feel like people kind of slept on it.
No, it's on my list just because it's Zelda.
It's 100%. It's great. Like it. It is and it isn't a prequel. I'll say that.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know it's similar to how the first Hyrule Warriors isn't in the timeline, but you can use it as the piece that puts all the timeline back together.
Yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting they did this once before.
Yeah. On the Wii U.
Because I played the other one.
And it's not a bad game.
It's not a bad game. This one's way better.
Yeah, because they understand what they're doing more with it.
This one is way better. They did a much better job. The roster is not as expansive in this one, which I think is a good thing, honestly.
Well, I mean, the roster from the last one was like every fucking character who has ever been associated with Link in some fucking form.
Right. This limits their stable to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So which is really great.
Which is wise,
actually.
Because I mean,
yeah, it's very.
I remember looking at the cast from the first Hyrule Warriors. You've got like Wolf Link, you've got Midna, you've got
you've got some Dragon
Zeldas. Because you got like Sheik and Zelda. You've got Impa. You've got
The way you fight as Zelda in this one is actually really fun. Like, it's a little weird to get used to.
Does she use the tablet?
She uses the tablet, and it's like on steroids.
She's the one who knows how to use it the best.
Oh yeah, early on, she's like one of the best wave clears, like 100%. Not so great in boss fights, but you have Link for that. Dude, and you just
Link doesn't fight bosses. What are you talking about?
Nah, Link fucking owns them. Dude, it's
Link has never been in a boss fight in his entire life.
But anyway, so yeah, I did that. Work was more like work today. I actually had to do my job for the most part. Still played a little bit, but I actually did have to do it today. Tomorrow, I envision more of the same as today. I am very proud of myself. So, like, in terms of the rest of the part of life that actually matters, meaning the stuff that's not my 9 to 5. Been going to the gym. Been actually committing to the gym, and I've been doing really well with it. Finally hit. So one of my things I used to be able to do back when my gym time was at its peak was I used to be able to do dumbbell press at 50 pounds. It's like 2 50-pound dumbbells, all 10 reps, and then back then was building up to 55 and 60, which was a big deal for me. And I finally worked my way back up to I'm doing 50 pounds at full 10 reps for the build up. That's like last set too, so that's like done sets prior. So was very excited. I was about to be one of those stereotypical gym people that like yeah, like I was literally about to be that guy, but I restrained myself.
Wise in some decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to actually start working out again. I know I've been saying that before, but like this year
Which
has
is
been tough.
honestly, well, so there's that, man, and honestly, I'll be real, man. That's also another reason I quit streaming, on my channel was just because, like, I felt and seen my health just getting worse and worse and worse, and my beer gut kept getting fatter and fatter and fatter. Like, I'm not a big person by any means, even back when it was a issue, but it was getting there, you know. Like, I was on a road that I did not want to be on, and honestly, it's just one of these things where, like, you know, I still want to create content. As I've alluded to on my Twitter, already, like, I am working on another content creation project. It's going to be going live in 2021. I have a name, we have socials and all this other stuff. We'll probably start promoting like just after the holidays, so should be fun.
Yeah.
I'll definitely tweet about it when it's live, but I can do that. I can set a schedule for that and still not consume my whole life with it, which is kind of what I felt like. So it's what I felt like. Like, again, it's one of these things where it's like, you know, streaming as a balance, you know, and I fully believe it doesn't do that, and I just wasn't doing that. Was really just my problem with it, and I wasn't able to find the time to do all this other stuff that I wanted to do, and the easiest way for it was just to eliminate something. And so I keep a toe in content creation waters these days, but you know, which is fine. I'm happier, you know, which is the important thing.
Hey, I mean, for me, streaming is kind of the thing that makes me happy, so I'm not gonna.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like, and it's all about, like, you know, in terms of where we're both at in life, you know, it's different. So it's like, it's why it really bugs me when people take to Twitter, just as an example, and they talk about their streaming advice and they kind of act like it's a one size fits all for everybody. And while some take bits and pieces to it, like, bits and pieces might be extremely valid, and all of it is extremely valid to the person that posted it, right? But it's not for everybody.
No,
like, there are certain general tips that apply to everybody in terms of what to do and what not to do. You know, just as an easy example of what not to do: don't promote your stream in another person's stream
unless, like, given consent.
Yeah, unless given actual consent. But even then, I always felt weird doing that. It's like, you know, people ask, you know, I would go raid somebody, and of course the person I raised would be like, hey man, how was your stream? I was like, it was good, yada yada yada. But I never once dropped a link or did, you know, any of that. And it's just, if I was gonna earn it, I was gonna earn it the correct way. I was gonna earn it the honest way.
Yeah, for me, it's mostly been that, like, like, if I'm raiding and someone shouts me out, it's tons of thanks. But like, if I'm not gonna, like, unless it's like the conversation's about streaming, like, I'm not just gonna go and be like, oh, you know, I was streaming this.
Right. Yeah, because I've had, yeah, just an example. Like, I've had guys, and it's not that, you know, I don't take it personal when they don't do. Like, I'm not one of these people, and if you are one of these people that takes it personal of them not asking you, like, they're in the middle of their stream, right, and they're doing stuff. It's like, hey Jay, you know, just an example. It's like, hey Jay, thanks for the raid, man. Yada 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 yada. Hope you're doing good. Hope everybody from streams are doing welcome. Yada yada yada. And then you go on, and then they don't ask me, how was stream? How was this or that or whatever? Then I'm not going to say it in their chat. I'm now going to talk to them about what they got going.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm not, again, I'm not that person. I'm not gonna be.
Well, it's like, also, like, when, like, new people are on Twitch and they come to my channel, like, hey, follow for follow, or hey,
follow for follow. God.
Well, a lot of times they're newer.
Yeah, I do, and it sucks because, man, follow for follow at face value almost seems like it would make sense, right? Like, if you're brand new, you know,
it makes
like,
it makes so much sense when you're brand new.
Yeah, we can build up, and then you realize that, oh, you followed 50 people that are also trying to get the same thing you're trying to get.
Well, and that's why you also don't like genuinely just create a bond with a person. Don't just go to a channel be like, hey, person who is gotten more experience doing this than me, follow me.
Yeah, it's like, no, bro.
No, dude. Like, I try
Like, and that's the
to
thing.
put it as a teaching moment. I'm like, hey, I mean, like, I don't do that. If you hang out in the community, I like you. I see some of your content. Like, yeah, maybe I'll follow you, but like, no, I'm not just gonna be
Well,
like,
and also, it's like, I'm really glad it's talked about more to where it's like, you know, people following you back, people not following you back when you follow them, you know, it's not an insult. It's just, you know, they probably they could have looked at your stuff, or they just, you know, forgot, because who knows, maybe they got a lot that they got to contend with on their, you know, on their social media. But it's like, it's not an insult that they don't follow you back. It's just either it's, hey, they've got tons of people that follow them, or it's, hey, they notice you follow, and which is like what I do is, oh, cool, these people follow me, let's see what they're about and whatever stuff. And if I like your stuff in the first couple bits of your feed, I'm like, this person's hilarious. Yeah, I want to follow them. I want more of this.
yeah, I get that. Like for me, like Twitch wise, it's like I usually check into see what the person has posted and stuff or like streamed or anything like that, what like their experience on Twitch is.
Yeah.
Like I also try to like, if possible, I try to look into the person in what ways I can.
Right.
But you know, it's never like, unless the person's like generally not someone who I want around my community.
Right.
Usually, it's like if they make content, I look into it. If not, then like not a big deal to me. In the sense
Yeah,
of like,
whatever.
it's not someone that they're probably someone who's more community based. Like they want to be
Dude,
part of a community.
like during this conversation, I'm like kind of looking back and just kind of remembering just all these people that I had followed at one point, and I was just like a good 75% of them, like I don't ever see I don't ever see live anymore. Like, and those are like the people that like are like really trying to do like the whole follow for follow thing, is because at some point they just get burnt out. Like, I got burnt out, but for different reasons. But like, it's like, I'm not getting the growth, and I'm doing, you know, and I'm doing this. I'm hitting the I'm hitting the record button I'm hitting the stream button while I'm playing a video game, and how come I don't have 100 viewers? Like,
Hold on. So I think this story didn't just drop, but it's sort of new. Tom Cruise raging. Tom Cruise. Tom Curse is the title. Raging Tom Cruise warns Mission Impossible crew they're fucking gone if they break COVID rules on set. Apparently, it's on the level of the Christian Bale freakout.
I mean, go Tom.
Yeah, what a great reason. Like, literally,
Go
the way I
Tom.
found it is someone retweeting and being like, I love the Christian Bale freakout. I have it committed to memory. This one is real good, but it's yelling about, checks notes, job security, workplace safety. What a guy. Oh, Andy Cortez replied to it, the Christian Bale. Oh, good for you. I mean, that is a great fucking freak out.
It's fantastic, and I'll always support anyone who just loses their shit with people not obeying rules that
Need to be followed.
honestly don't need, and honestly, and it doesn't require that much effort on your part, and it's just a common freaking courtesy, you know? Like, come on. Like, you know, do I want to wear a mask the entire time I lift? No, but I do it. Like, I
Yeah.
promise it's not my most favorite thing I've ever done, but guess what? All these people that say you can't breathe when you lift and blah 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 blah. Wuss, wear the mask.
Yeah, I mean, I've unloaded trucks in a mask, so
Yeah. like, you know, people go to their jobs every day in masks. People go to stores every day in masks. They go home and they bitch about it later, but they still do it. They don't have any breathing issues. Just deal, man. Just freaking deal with it. There's magical vaccines on its way. Just hold out for a while.
Wait till we hit that 75% number. So I haven't had the chance to talk to you about this.
Oh.
Have you? So weird tangent off of this.
Cool. I won off of this, so perfect.
Have you looked into all the Marvel, Star Wars, Disney news? We talked about it on the podcast last night, so.
Yes, I did, actually. I did in response to you guys talking about it, actually.
Oh, sweet.
I think one of the favorite things that I am the most looking forward to out of everything that's coming, out of most of the stuff that's coming, Bad Batch. Like I said, I love anything with the clones, and Bad Batch was such a unique addition into the newest season of Clone Wars anyway. So it's like, yes, I would love more of these guys. Okay, thanks.
All right.
So yeah, so I did look into some of it. Now, as much as I would love to honestly go into detail about that, and something that's not going to make me absolutely T-pop rage, like the title of the stream and everything suggests we must go a different route.
I just want to pick your brain for a moment before going here. So we're going here.
Man, when the first couple days of your game has some people cleverly putting bug in its title, and it trends majorly on Twitter.
Wait,
you know
what
you've
happened?
done something. Hashtag Cyberbug 2077.
Oh, I missed that.
Yep.
When that happened?
I tweeted about it, I don't know, sometime last week. I tweeted about it, or over the weekend. I don't remember when I sent the tweet. But I was basically like, you know, I have mixed feelings about the fact that it's trending. Because on the one hand, it's a cool concept and cool ideas and stuff. But I honestly just feel that the majority of these mistakes could have been just flat out avoided.
I said it should have waited till 2021.
I do not know what happened to the people that made Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. But to me, I am convinced it is not the team that made Cyberpunk.
No, it is. They just got pushed.
I know. I mean, it's just, but there's my point with that is just the quality of your side note. Something I did find quite amusing. There is a shameless Easter egg for Wild Hunt, the game, in Cyberpunk. Like, it's like straight up. You start as the corpo dude. You eventually make it to your desk. You open the drawer, and there is a gamer magazine with Game of the Year being Wild Hunt, which appropriate.
Stings a bit.
Stings a bit. Yeah, it's like, right, because you guys also made that, and this is what we're dealing with. Which, here's the thing. So for my time in the game, which admittedly has been quite limited, I have had bugs. I have not had nearly the severity of bugs as a lot of other people have reporting. So I honestly don't know how I've managed that, but I have it on PC, which console states are just,
my God, that thing looks hideous on the PS4.
Abhorrent. They look absolutely atrocious. And Torn has it on PS4. And I was like, hey, I want your opinion on something. And he's like, what? I'm like, so how bad is it on PS4? And he's like, honestly, the graphics are pretty horrible, but that's actually not what's getting me right now. I'm like, what is it? Oh, it crashes every 15 minutes.
Oh, it crashes all the time.
No way, dude. He's like, yep. Like, doesn't matter what I'm doing, where I'm going. 10, 15 minutes, boom. And it's the full crash. So it's like, please wait while we're sending a report and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, fellas. fellas. Like,
No,
come on.
you wanna know what happened? They got rushed. It makes
rushed.
this makes everything that I said essentially come true. I said there was going to be bugs, like it was going.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be this buggy. I knew it was going to be buggy though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, at this point, I think you're naive to say that there won't be bugs at launch.
No, I expected there to
You're
be
very
bugs.
naive.
I expected that it was going to be closer to it. This is worse than a Bethesda launch, in my opinion. Because Bethesda has bugs. The games are always known to have a bug when they start. Games in general have bugs when they start. That's why we have day one patches and stuff, because there's little things that you catch after your game goes gold. And you start producing it that you fix through the patch. Because that's the way gaming works now. But
Which has both pros and cons.
yeah, pro is you can start producing the game and start shipping it and getting it ready to go. Con is if you don't catch all the bugs in that day one patch, you're gonna have issues.
Well, it's not only that, but it's also like leaves the door open for real lazy quality checking towards the end.
Yeah.
In all honesty, it's like, we'll just get in the back. It's like, nah, that's not how it's supposed to work. I'm not
If you have a
saying that's not how
deadline on
everybody
game
does
one,
it.
if you
Let's
have like
be
a
real.
deadline on gold,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the thing is that I didn't expect it to be this bad. I didn't, and I haven't
It-
played it. I've seen everything. This
Yeah,
I told you I
it-
was waiting. I was holding off last week. I said it. I said I'm waiting.
Yeah, I have no willpower, so
I saw you do that. I'm like, I'm interested to see how this plays out.
yeah. Here's the thing, though. Again, by getting it on PC, I swear I have dodged a lot of bullets.
Yeah, no, 100%. From what I've
Um,
heard, PC is the best way to play it.
PC is the best way to play it. I think the game looks pretty enough. Here's the thing. I have a 2080 card. I think it's 2080. Yeah. And it it's pretty top line. It's obviously not what they've got out now, but
No, it ain't one of the fucking 30s.
it runs super smooth. I've got all the graphics up on high and I'm running smooth, but the thing is that it doesn't look quite like the graphics are up on high. Like, the game looks good enough, but I unfortunately I'm sick of saying that stuff like that. It's an okay game. It
Oh.
looks good enough.
The other thing too is I've heard it's really barren too.
It feels way emptier than everything we were led to believe on it. It does feel very empty. And then the thing that I was hoping would save it, for me anyway, kind of also proves to be cumbersome, and that is the combat.
Is it as clunky as potentially predicted?
It feels kind to me like the best reference I could get. It feels like you're walking against a light current waist deep in water.
Oof.
Like, still doable, but it's just, this should feel faster. The gun, like, you have a mix of gunplay and melee in here, which I like that touch. That you can go like a mix of the route. FYI, Katana's fucking overpowered early game, but it just doesn't, I don't know, man. It just doesn't flow the way that I was really hoping it would, the way I wanted it to. The fact that the gunplay has numbers that pop up, I'll admit, made me nervous in the development videos that they did. Made me really nervous because, in my opinion, to kill a basic dude, right? Basic dude with basic ammunition, I think takes way more shots. On normal, keep in mind, I think takes way more shots than is absolutely needed.
Okay.
Like, I do not like the RPG mechanic to where even a headshot won't one-shot you. Because what's the point at that point?
Yeah.
So then it relies on the critical stats and percentage gains and all this other stuff. Like, I love RPG mechanics. I love RPG numbers. I love getting the good gear to get the awesome hits. But if I'm doing any kind of gunplay and it's first-person shooters, no less,
It's not. It doesn't flow as well.
I can hit you less times with the katana, I think. So the katana, I think, is like a special. I think is like a special item I got because I think I technically still bought this thing while it was on pre-order because I hadn't necessarily dropped yet. But still, yeah. Regardless of how good this item is, this shouldn't make sense. Is I can hit you less times with the katana and kill you. You kill a normal person than shots it takes to put them in the head, I feel like.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
Like, again, if it's straight headshots, 3, maybe 4, I don't know, like, aim could also be off, but I feel like it's not all the time, right? Versus, I come with the katana and it's like it's a pretty consistent 3 hit on a basic enemy with the katana, and they're like down, which makes sense because it's a freaking katana.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
Just like a headshot should be like you're done.
Yeah, it's kind of got the thinking about it, kind of has like a Division feel.
Kind of, a little bit. Now, with Division, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but NPCs like with headshots. Man, it's been a long time since I even played one.
Depends on where you're at. If you're in a dead zone, those things will fucking hurt you.
Yeah, but like I'm just talking about just with NPCs, right? Like you're going against NPC missions in Division. So in Division 1, if I remember correctly, like if you scored a headshot, like with a rifle, a sniper rifle, AR, whatever, like that was a significant chunk of health,
yeah. No, 100%.
Dead, right?
Yeah. Unless
Like,
you're going
with
up like
sniper,
a boss.
Well, bosses are like,
Yeah.
I'm just talking just regular
Guys,
like,
it melts.
The Cyberpunk sold itself on some of the boss fights, right? That it was trying to showcase, and I was cool with the boss fight. Like I was like, yeah, let's do it. But, man, I'd say also what I don't like. I'm gonna spoil a little bit, like just a little bit. No details. Yeah. Nothing.
I've never been able to do that on this show proper.
Nothing horribly. Are you happy?
Yeah, I am.
Happy. Nothing horribly telling, but 3 unique starts, right?
Yes, Corporal, Nomad,
So
and
Corporal, Nomad, Street Kid.
Yeah.
Kid. Did you ever play Dragon Age Origins?
No.
Really? Oh, you should. Because this is not necessarily something that I particularly minded about Origins, because you had, depending on your race and the kind of subclass that you picked, determines your origins in that game. Hence Dragon Age Origins, like it's basically what sold itself on. And there was a fairly lengthy intro to your person in their start. And then, so you have the tree, and then it comes to a point, and now the main narrative begins. Right? So in Dragon Age, in the instance, you were going to this place called Ostagar, and you're going to do this big battle. Like, irregardless, you end up at Ostagar, regardless of what fight you choose. And it's under the same circumstances, basically. Like, your Grey Warden mentor is escorting you to the fortress, and yada, yada, yada. Now, your dialogue is different, and it does feel unique. So they did do it really good. This is back when BioWare really cared about story.
Which we'll tangent. That'll be the next topic.
That'll be the next tangent. So many. Yeah,
or do we want to do that now? Do we want to just break into that now and then circle back to Cyberpunk?
No, I want to finish because I don't want to come back to Cyberpunk, because my story has a point that does connect to Cyberpunk. So with Cyberpunk, you have the Nomad, which I have not touched the intro on. You have Street Kid and you have Corpo, both of which I've played through the intros. And
are they disappointingly similar?
No, they're very different, but they're very disappointingly short. Very disappointingly short, and very quickly get you to the same central narrative point.
The beginning where the bar happens, right? Where
no.
where you go through that like montage.
Oh, the cutscene with Jackie? Yeah, you always end up in that cutscene with Jackie, I'm pretty sure. again, haven't played Nomad, but if I'm 2 for 3, then odds are Nomad I see being unique because I guess it starts you in the Badlands, and so you somehow end up in the city again, but couldn't really tell you how or why it happened. But I'm sure it happens, right? Because I mean,
Yeah.
why wouldn't it? So yeah, for replayability, the replayability value for me kind of stops at just seeing the intros and using the dialogues that would be unique. Which admittedly, like again, I haven't played much and I've only seen dialogue options unique for Street Kid. I've seen some of the same dialogues as a corporate and haven't really seen anything yet. Of course, I mean, it would make no sense to. I can see points where it would interlace, but anyway, my point being is, I don't know, like it makes sense kind of from a narrative perspective to get to a central narrative point, but I also feel you could have took a little more time to get there.
Especially saying that the prologue was supposed to be fucking, what, 15 hours or some shit?
I never heard specifics.
It was supposed to be like hours long for the prologue before you actually get to the rest of the game.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't really know what's considered prologue at this point. Like, I would imagine, because, you know, I've talked to Dex, the guy with the gold arm. Talked to Dex, and I've kind of started his quest line. But if that's considered the prologue, then that could be the hours of play that they're talking about, because the quest line for Dex has potential to be hours long. I've side quested a bit and here and there, so like, you know, just trying to just enjoy the game. But again, man, it's very barren. Navigation in this city as well. Just like there's a side mission where you can like do some bare knuckle fights, right? And I get to this first location. I'm like, where the hell is it? I end up having to parkour up some ledges to get to it. I'm like, why the fuck does this make sense? Like, where are the stairs? And then I see the stairs, and I'm like, it's this weird convoluted walkway, which makes me not regret parkouring. But I'm like, this defeats the whole damn purpose.
Yeah.
So that kind of annoyed me.
Okay, so I guess my big question that I've had over the last day, I guess, and I saw someone talking about it on Twitter last night. I think it was again the kind of any career. They're kind of they eat up my timeline quite a bit because they have a lot of conversations about stuff. I think Barrett was talking about it from Kind of Funny. He brought up that this game doesn't have a revival, does it?
In terms of what?
So this is debatably the worst launch we've had in a bit, right?
Debatably, yeah. Do I see it like coming back? Is that what you're kind of asking?
Yeah, because a lot of people are trying to compare it to like, well, I mean, if you look at games like Final Fantasy 14 and No Man's Sky and
okay, so unfortunately No Man's Sky is a little bit better of a comparison.
Yes, I think that's the closest comparison you could make.
Because, you know, they touted like it could be multiplayer, but it 100% wasn't.
Yeah.
And so then they basically, but you know, for No Man's Sky to come back, right? They had to rework an entire system, like almost to its core. If really, honestly, not to its core, had to rework it.
Yes, agreed.
So here are some things that need to happen with Cyberpunk, like top 3 things. And here's the thing: the story, the dialogue, the writing, and some of these conversations, I love it. I love watching these things. My biggest problem with them is some of them do take like a minute. Like, it kind of reminds me of the intro to Kingdom Hearts 3. Like,
oh my
favorite
fucking
game to
gosh.
watch. Favorite game to watch, right? Like,
when that fucking 2.9 popped up, I'm like, I fucking hate you.
Like when the freaking dude, when your first hour and a half of playing the game is only about maybe 40 minutes of gameplay. And I don't think I'm exaggerating all that much.
We'd have to ask Steven because he's the most recent to have played it.
I don't think I'm exaggerating. I love the game. I love it. I still haven't beat it, but I love the game.
Oh yeah, I beat it.
But you beat it?
Yeah.
I've actually done really well to avoid spoilers from it. I don't know how.
Well,
Like,
you
I've made a
see,
point.
so everything that happens afterwards is like, this happens, so and so shows up. It's not.
I'll make the trip just to murder you. Like,
that was funny. I enjoy my jokes
I know how to get
sometimes.
away with it too, because I listen to a podcast.
Well, I'm not in the not so great outdoors, so ha! How many times have we said that fucking podcast name on this show at this point? We might as well be sponsored by them. Do they want to pay for a sponsorship?
I don't think that's how that works. Even if we had some kind of official arrangement, that still wouldn't be how that would work. It's like, hey, I can see this conversation because I'd obviously have to be the one to ask about.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, babe, you want to sponsor the show? Yeah, sure. Like, what? It's like, what is up, Oz? If you just, you just pay us. And it's like, you love me, you won't charge me anything. Damn it.
Jay's over here forking over the money.
Look, guys, she paid. The conversation, she was surprisingly agreeable. It just worked out. Oh man.
I go to message her privately. Thanks for sponsoring the show. I didn't sponsor the show. Oh, that schmuck.
Yeah.
Exactly how that goes. Oh, fucking funny. But yeah, so my big concern with it, like trying to come back, is the games that come back have multiplayer.
Yeah,
Destiny.
So
No Man's Sky had the promise of multiplayer, so that kept it alive.
Right,
and I
had to get it.
Yeah.
And of course, Final Fantasy 14 MMO.
Yeah. There's a lot of the games people have been using as examples are multiplayer oriented.
Are not the ones you need to be comparing it to.
Exactly.
Like, to think of a game that had a rough launch but still retained its following and is still single player, the best one that I can come up with is Kingdom Come Deliverance.
But is it my problem with that? I haven't thought of that game since it came out.
Oh no, here's the thing. It's just there's people that still play it.
Yeah.
It still retains a decent sell value even today.
Okay. I didn't know it retained still a decent sell value.
Somewhat decent. It's not full price for sure, but it comes down to like there was a lot of bugs at launch for Kingdom Come Deliverance, like a lot.
Yeah,
and
I remember that was fun to fucking see.
Some of those bugs I found out still exist, but when you go from, but still, yeah, they did a lot of work on it. Now, so for Cyberpunk, as I was kind of going to say earlier, I think 3 things that they need to fix, like in order to make it, to give this thing a shot at reviving. And I'm not including all the bug fixes with the textures and all this other stuff. This comes like, this is your default. Like, this should be a thing already. This should be on your to-do list. Please fix it. So I'm not including all of that because there are plenty of cutscenes of like people disappearing or reappearing, or I actually think this game had an Andromeda bug where it only showed the eyes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Mass Effect Andromeda did that. Yeah,
I remember that.
I want to say I saw a glimpse of that. I think the rest of them eventually loaded in, but it was still like, cars going into pavement, cars floating into sky, like all this stuff. So yeah, lots of stuff needs to happen.
Yeah, no, 100%. And honestly, what saves it too? maybe adding a multiplayer version too.
I don't see it. I
That's
honestly
that's the way you draw people back. Honestly, multiplayer, play with your friends.
maybe, but
Draws people together.
so here's the thing though. Like again, one thing they really got going for them is it's a real unique story. I'm in for story, and so I'd be willing to come back to it, and I'm still gonna keep trying, like, try to see if things like improve. Because like if I can get to a later level and combat feels more fluid, then I'm cool with just attributing it to okay, slow start leveling. You know, kind of makes sense in a way. Really wish you could maybe tweak it. But that's gonna be one of my big things. So I will say that my first thing is like fix combat, like fix the numbers to where your combat feels more significant, and on the flip side, so that combat feels more significant to you. Like, it doesn't have to be a one-way road unless you're just playing the game on easy mode. The second is you need to fill up your city. Like, some bits can be barren because those could be the outskirts and stuff, and that's fine. But honestly, like, I'm having to search for crowds sometimes. And it just again, it doesn't feel completely empty, but it just feels way less than it should. And honestly, just with the last, I think navigation honestly needs some work, because I just feel kind of totally lost in this game, and that could just be my own personal problem and my orientation with it. But again, trying to find this one particular fist fight zone really irked me. It really annoyed me to try to find it. So those are my 3 things.
Okay.
You do those 3 things, you mark it that you've done these 3 things,
and you have a shot at redemption.
I say they have a shot. Now, the only one of those I can imagine them actually rectifying, because it's one that's literally, it's just pure math. It has nothing to do with art and processing power, is the combat. Because this is what you get when a combat system is based on numbers. You can just tweak the numbers. But that's still going to require a ton of testing on their part, or some at least. And from that point, we'll see. Again, that's really honestly all I want. If you had to do the one thing, and it is the combat, make the combat faster, make the combat feel more fluid. And I'm down for that, because the story to me is just, I want to see the story. Like, it has an interesting story enough so far with me that I'm like, all right, I want to see where this goes. Like, it for me, it makes me curious to know where it goes from here. Where can I make it go from here? How much choice do I have? Because I'll also be real, right now, of course, I'm kind of getting to one of the first missions that really gives you those branching options to where they feel significant. So I haven't really messed with a whole lot of it yet.
All right.
So,
all right, well, we're going to move on to the next thing, which means I need to do one thing. Please ignore the technical issue for a second, everyone.
Did you just absolutely kill our stream?
No,
What's
I
it
didn't
look
kill the stream,
Screen.
but for some reason the video's not displaying correctly, which was not my intention.
Oh, it's my little bat.
Yep, that's the only thing showing up.
What's up, man?
Why aren't the captures showing up?
So,
Let me know
Properties.
when the capture's showing up, and I'll turn on my camera.
Nope, that's not the right one. There we go. Okay, captures there. We'll see where it is, where it puts you.
Hey,
Any-
it actually put him in the right place.
Oh, I know that. I'm just seeing where it puts him with if he turns his camera on. Are you turning your camera on, buddy?
Oh.
Oh, that'll work. Okay.
Did I say I think that would look? It would look
That's
pretty good.
pretty good. It works.
Also looks really unsafe, my dude.
We can't hear you.
I'm about to pull over, so
Why?
You're about to pull over. He's about to pull over.
Oh,
like,
I thought
on
you were
his own.
getting pulled over.
That's what I thought he said for like a second. I'm like, dude, content, man. Oh, that's so pathetic. That actually legit was my first thought.
I hate you both so much. God damn it.
Oh man, I love it.
I don't know if Steven's gonna be able to see this right.
At the moment, I'll figure it out.
So I'm sending you the image for Jay.
Dude, I will say this. I thought mine looked creepy. And then I seen yours. And I'm gonna save my reference for what I think it looks like until the viewers can see it. And then I'll hit you with it.
So,
because this is the first thing that I thought of when I seen it.
ladies and gentlemen, I asked last week that these two gentlemen, for the Photoshop challenge, make me into a nutcracker. My God, did these two fuckers succeed? In the creepiest ways possible, which is what we expected.
No, hey, no, I feel the need to mention nightmare fuel and creepiness was actually not my original goal.
No, but it worked.
Oh no, I got there. It totally, that was the result, and that's what you're judged on in this is results.
So,
And Nightmare.
yeah.
And nightmare fuel.
As always, Steven is on the left, Jay is on the right.
Bro, okay. So yours looks like Chucky Christmas version. Like,
Yeah.
that's the first thing I thought of. Like, Chucky.
It's actually based off of Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker artwork from the Berlin Symphony Orchestra.
Well, they're a bunch of creeps because you need to see this.
I've never
This
been
is Steven.
I've never been so self-conscious about my chin in my life.
And then you saw this.
Then I saw this. My chin
my God.
is giant, and I know why, because it's the nutcracker. It's got to move. It's the mouth. But my God, does it make me go, my chin's not that obtuse, is it? It's not that big.
On all of the comments, all the people I showed it to at home, they all said, your chin on my picture kind of looks like a penis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing I thought. 100%.
I wasn't gonna say it. See, now here's what I like about yours as compared to mine. Is because I messaged you yesterday and I said you could do one thing different from me and potentially take it. And Dev, according to him before we started the show, actually told me he hadn't made his mind up yet.
Nope.
This could potentially it. So maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot, but I feel it's worth noting is Steven did not shy away from actually bringing his into like a full color kind of mode.
Oh, yeah, no.
Versus I'm playing with a lot of low light dynamic in mine.
But you want to know what I like about yours? Is it's low light and eerie. It's creepy. Like,
It's
that
creepy.
is,
I like
if you're doing a animated horror thing about a nutcracker, you nailed it. Like 100%. That would be like an animated shot where like the kid looks over the sun, like you could tell where the sun is, all that. You could see everything perfectly in the shot, but you can't see the voided eyes. The eyes in this fucking thing are
so on stream, like it's zoomed out further than I thought I had it oriented for, and I'm a little sad about it actually.
It's just the version I got from the link.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't send you the appropriate size then. That's my bad. So to kind of walk you through what I did there. So that nutcracker, my nutcracker model there, as you see in the video, is actually one of my sisters. Because she already collects nutcrackers, so which is why this
That's
project
even creepier.
which is why this was really so that's a real nutcracker that I took a picture of, and then obviously removed its head, and so then put your head where its head used to be, had to remask out the crown so it looks like you were wearing the crown. See, this is probably the most pandering to the judge I'll ever do. Is
100%. The crown? The crown is
you a nutcracker king.
Whatever do you mean? That's not pandering. I don't know what you refer to.
And I talk about it in my footage as well, but I was like, if I really wanted to go for that, then I would have removed what I think is the holly leaf or mistletoe or whatever on the front of the crown. I would have put the DD on it. And I thought about doing it. I had time to do it. I had plenty of time to do it, but I was like, by the end of me doing everything, I'm just like, I'm tired.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. You probably made the right choice. I think it might have been because there is over pandering.
I feel it would have been a bit much. So the king was,
but making it me the Nutcracker King, that's the perfect round, right there.
So I had to basically do like a shape over your face because to kind of keep your shape mold. Those eyes are your eyes, just contorted and flattened, basically.
Did you send us the same picture?
No, I sent you guys eerily similar pictures. I took them at the same time. Okay, so your picture was me doing a freaky grin. Jay's was me doing a freaky smile for you, Steven. Jay's was just do a moderate kind of grin.
I told him, so the original idea with this is that I told him do a neutral grin, right? Didn't show any teeth. And so the initial stuff I was going through with this, and I started realizing, I was like, this fucking thing's gonna look more like a ventriloquist dummy than a nutcracker. And so I had to add another mouth from a different nutcracker, which is honestly the thing I'm the most upset about in mine.
See, Steven, on the other hand, went, give me your creepiest smile. So I went,
and I had a heyday with it. Dude, what I ended up doing was I cut out your mouth and I cut out your eyes first. And that was
out of context. This sounds like some murderer conversation. I cut out your mouth. I cut out your eyes first.
Like, it looked like a murder, honestly. I'm going to have nightmares about the images I saw.
Yeah, I don't want to see any more nutcrackers for a while. Well,
too bad. Next week is Nutcracker Part 2.
Anyway, no, I want to finish up. I want to know, what did you do with these? These are his eyes? What did you do?
So I took out the whites of his eyes and replaced that with a new white background. But I took his actual irises and his pupils and cut them out. And then since the picture he sent me didn't have his full eye, I had to duplicate it and flip it upside down. So it's two irises put together into one eyeball. And then I liquefied his face to get the bigger eyes. And I chopped out his two buck teeth and repeated it over and over and over again.
Buck teeth? Fuck you! What the fuck is it? Fuck off!
So at least with my entry, I didn't do any body shaming. I'm just saying.
And I tried to make it all as realistic as possible. Since I had a realistic Dev, I took a realistic guy, and then Dev's head that I made was too big for the guy, so the rifle that he has, I had to cut out the rifle barrel and put it on top of it. And I was thinking.
So I have a big head too. I have buck teeth. I have a weird chin and too big of a head. Motherfucker. You guys are going a very different approach. One pandered, the other's insulting.
And I think I'm gonna lose.
Well, so here's the thing. So to kind of a little bit more. So the part of this that I'm honestly some of the most proud of is I do have a confession to make. And I also do talk about this in the video. There are several Photoshop accounts that I watch on YouTube. Probably my favorite one is a guy named Benny Productions. If you've never watched this dude, you need to check it out because he is incredible. And so he very recently, did a video of someone sent him a picture of a Rottweiler puppy, and they wanted to make it all Christmas-fied and stuff. And so he put the puppy sitting on a window ledge. It was sitting in grass originally. Put the puppy sitting on a window ledge, straight on with light coming in, and do all this other stuff. Do you see the dots I connected here with this project? The Nutcracker is sitting on a ledge with light coming in. The ledge I actually made and morphed myself using a wood texture. And then I blended it together and folded it and skewed it and stuff. I added the drop shadow, all the shadows from the windowsill, the lighting coming through the window, that's all me. The lighting border around the Nutcracker, all of that is me. And then those Christmas strand lights are the ones that I use to interlace between the HarHar days on the previous card, which you see. So
that is one of my favorite details.
So bullishly displayed to the right. Because I was like, I got to be a little cheeky here.
Oh, yeah, you got to put your wins up on the board, right?
It's not even so much that, it's just it was already a Christmas themed, and I'm like, it's too good not to do.
So my thoughts on these. Stevens is horrifying. Legitimately horrifying. Docking points for the shaming of my face and head. 100%.
I'll be honest. I actually think I think I win for most realistic looking Nutcracker, which is not something I thought I would get to say, honestly, when this day came.
Yeah, I was just trying to make things look creepy and use as much of the original stuff as possible. So, like, even all those trees and everything, I didn't take those from online. I took it from Photoshop, like, generate tree setting, and I just did it a bunch of times.
Dude, that's a fun setting, though. All right, Dev, continue.
So, Stevens, so I usually start with Steven, I go to Jay. Stevens is absolutely horrifying. Points docked for shaming the size of my head, the shape of my teeth. I'm not going to dock you for the chin. It's just a self-conscious thing on my part. You didn't purposely make fun of me for my chin, but you made fun of my teeth and my head. So docking points there. The eyes are creepy, but also I love it because those are the color of my irises most of the time, because you can kind of see the goldish brown that they have, which is what they pick up under a camera. But if you actually look at them, there's a lot more detail to it if you actually see them. Because like looking at a camera right now, like that is what they look like. I'm like, okay, that is the coloration my eyes have. That's awesome. I was hoping with the picture I sent you, there'd be more of a grin, more of the smile, more of that. But what I got wasn't what I expected. Still horrifying, which was your intention, though.
If you expected any of this, I'd have serious concerns about your mental health. I'm not gonna lie.
I half expected what Steven did. Not gonna lie, when he said horror, this is kind of what I saw coming.
I
not verbatim, but like on the like, if I like, it's just a side tangent from where I was going, from what I sent him and stuff like that. Kind of wish it looked more nutcrackery with the body, if that makes sense, because it looks like someone playing a nutcracker, if that makes sense, with it looks like an animated kids movie Nutcracker if it was a horror movie.
Dude, it's the Crimson Chin in his school play.
All right, motherfucker.
The picture, not you. The picture.
All right.
Look, any points you were going to dock for me, you are going to dock. I'm not afraid of you.
You made him look good. He's not going to dock as many points.
Well, I do have a couple docks for Steven, for Jay. But Steven, I do like it. I wish the name the Dev Cracker wasn't the name of it. It's kind of a weird name.
Cracker.
Wish you played around with it a little bit more. But all in all, enjoyable.
I'll put Dork Cracker next time.
Dork Cracker, I think actually would have been better.
Probably would have been better.
I think you might be onto something. I do have a question. Why did you capitalize the D and the R?
Because it was the front and the back of the thing.
Of the concept.
Yeah. The line, so it blocks it. It's a blocking thing. So, Jay, yours.
Yep.
Like I said, straight out of a horror movie. That's like an animated movie, and like this would be the camera panned to the doll on the windowsill.
Okay.
And you at that moment go, all right, what's about to happen? Is this going to be the jump scare, or is this thing going to move, or what? It's eerie, and I love it. I wish it was not necessarily. I don't know how to put it like in the right wording. I don't necessarily want it to be brighter, but I wish it was easier to see, and that might just be the quality, the quality I ended up getting.
Well, so the problem that you have. Because, like, I think if you open what I sent you in Discord, if you open what I sent you in Discord, like, it's way easier to see. But
Oh, hold on,
Or
let
at
me
least
pop up
mine is.
Discord. Oh, yeah, that
Maybe
actually looks better on Discord. Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why the saved version did that. All right. Yeah. See, this is what I remember it looking like. Well, with this version, I think it. Well, what if I open it here? Oh, that looks better over here. Okay, that'll work better. That'll work better. There we go. That works. Okay. So, see, I remember it looking like this, and so the quality I was looking at, I'm like, how is that what ended up being? That's not what I remember it being. Okay, that's right. All right, well, that's part of my issue. It's fixed. I'm not gonna lie, just based off of realizing that I had the wrong version of it up. I think Jay wins just because I like the detail. It's more of a nutcracker, and it looks like it's about to be a horror movie scene where the thing's about to do the thing. It's a very close battle because both of these are absolutely fucking horrifying in their own rights. And that is kind of what I was hoping for. So, which leaves us with, before the phone dies, next week's challenge. I'm wearing a hat. I want to be Kappa Claus.
I don't know what you're complaining about, Jay. You've gone 2 out of 3 here.
I've made, yeah, but like, these are requiring more and more effort on my part. Do you understand? I do this effort out of fear of you. Like, that's. You're like, you're Mr. I just threw this together the night before, and I'm like, and it's a serious fucking contender each and every time. So yeah.
Jay's over here the day I announce it, like, I need to do this.
Give me about 2-3 hours. I'll throw something together.
What's funny is, like, for Kappa Claus, I've already made one of you into Budget Santa. Like,
yeah, but this time you're gonna have to try more.
I will have to try more, and I don't like you for it, I'll be honest.
But hey, I'm wearing the purple hat, so you're gonna get a picture with me in the purple hat. So part of the job's done.
No, part of the job is not done. You just add a detail, is what you've done. It's 100% what you've done, is you just added a detail. Stephen will agree, he's just added a detail. He's not doing anything for us. He's not doing any favors for us. Because not only is your face catching light, the hat's catching light, the purple from the hat's catching light, the white from the hat's catching light. I don't care for you right now.
You say that every fucking week, and that's the beginning of each one of these videos.
Yep.
Just us complaining.
Yep, pretty much.
It will keep being the thing. All right, well, get home safe before your phone dies.
Will do. You guys have a good night.
Bye.
Congrats, Jay, for beating me again.
Hey, sorry, it was close. Genuinely, like, I did not have a decision till tonight. Until I had them both up and really studied both of them tonight. Like, genuinely, that's what it was.
I was glad you were able to open the proper version of mine, because I'm like,
yeah, I don't know why it didn't work originally. I saved it from this version, so I don't know why it didn't load correctly. It'll probably have to be something that I have to make sure doesn't happen next time.
It's funny. Mine looks like a scene from the movie, and Steven's is the movie poster. This is what you'd see outside in the theater. That is what you see outside of the theater.
Doki Div is the Nutcracker. I think the phone died.
Oh, 100%.
I've got to wait for him to get out of the call, though. Oh, wait.
No, you don't. You just boot him, can't you?
No.
Just restart our call. Yeah.
Exactly. Hey. Hey, that's how this works.
Yeah, we're smart. We're figuring it out.
Are we? Are we figuring it out? I've got to do one thing because the capture's not going to be there for a second. Properties.
That again.
Where are we?
I will say this. I'm very pleased that I've now won 2 in a row.
But now you have to really try.
Dude, okay. So our Christmas card was like,
there we go.
That thing was a chore. Like, that thing was a freaking chore. And then I did this thing, where actually for the first time, I've never actually done this in a Photoshop composition before, at least not to this extent. Actually generated myself and maintained light composition. Usually I use existing light in some form or fashion. So that's
See,
the
it
first
saved better
time.
that time. Weird. I just saved it again and it worked better. I don't know what.
Hmm.
I don't know what happened during that save.
Probably the version you saved it in.
No, I saved it the exact same way.
Who knows? But like, I never had to do light dynamics like that before. Never attempted it. And I'm like, that's not bad for a first time. Like, there's still definitely things I could have done better. But I'm really glad I sent you that second picture, because that wall is already crap colored. But in the first picture, you notice in the first one I sent you, it's like way lighter. It's because I put everything else to its proper exposure value except for the wall.
Oh, I see that now. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, isn't it such an eyesore? Like, you're looking at it now versus what it actually is supposed to look like. It's like, wow.
Like, I could tell something was wrong with the first one after seeing the second one, but I couldn't, like, piece together what I was seeing, what was wrong.
Yeah.
But now that you point it out, it
it's
makes...
literally the big freaking wall.
Yeah, it's the last place you
It's
literally
all the
look.
it's all the empty space of the photo. Why in the world?
So, to continue on the topic from before, gaming.
Okay.
There was a game that was announced
Yeah.
that... This is going to be another tangent from you and I, because this is the game you and I always end up talking about every time we're on this fucking show. Somehow, we end up on
Say it, Dev.
Mass Effect.
Yes.
We'll continue.
Yeah, that's the key thing.
There's... I don't know if I clipped it. Steven will probably clip it in the next video. But there's a moment of me legitimately coming to tears.
You would tell me. You told me. And I'm
on Thursday.
Bro, I have to temper so much expectation.
Oh,
And,
100%.
But it's like, at the same time though, I mean, like, I'm very nervous because, BioWare has had some people leave. Some of those people were very heavily involved in
Mass Effect.
Yeah. And I'm just like, ugh.
We'll see. I mean, it looked like from the trailer that is definitely Liara.
Yeah.
Because she's
obviously
freckles.
And she's getting the N7 piece of N7 armor.
Yeah.
From a snow-covered place. That's the part that I'm a little...
Well, I'm wondering
weirded
what
out
ending
on.
it's going to choose. Or if any of the ending... Because, like, I chose the blue.
You chose to become one of the Reapers?
Yeah. Jim, don't listen to this part.
You're a little late now.
I know, I was trying to avoid it.
You're a little late. I did not choose that ending. I chose...
You choose red or green?
Red.
Got it. Makes sense.
Well, because that's the one that you have the extra... If you have full preparedness, you have the little extra half-second scene at the end. If you choose red. You don't get that scene with any other ending.
Wait, what scene? I genuinely don't know. I'd have...
No,
I
you're
guess...
fucking with me.
No, I don't know
Are
if
you kidding? Hang on.
Is it the thing where something is still there and potentially... I probably know, but I don't know offhand because that's not the ending I chose. He's typing it out to me. Okay, yeah.
You have seen it.
I've seen that. I've seen it.
Okay.
I just didn't do it. I didn't know that was the choice because my friend didn't spoil it, thankfully, and I made my choice.
So that's the thing. So when I did that, the first time I hit the ending, I did not have Xbox Gold. And so I'm going into it with 50% preparedness because that is its default.
Because you do not have online.
And man, that's a real depressing last battle.
Does it go very bad?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, you still get to, the place and do the thing. But like at some point, Shepard looks around, and I don't think this spoils too much, but he looks around and he's like, looks genuinely dismayed and is like, this can't be all that's left. And I mean, that line just hit me like, oh, what have I done?
You gotta play the online.
I mean, it already feels really ominous. Speaking of, I would love to play that again.
Probably at some point. Oh, we already plan on playing it for something else, so.
Yeah, but that's like, gonna take up a whole lot of extra time.
Oh, I know, but it'll be fun.
I don't even want to play it for content. I just want to play it.
I know. I want to play it too. I just haven't gone around to it. I've got a lot on my docket.
Yeah.
Ask me when you want to pencil in, and I'll pencil you into the schedule.
Bro, I don't even know when I can pencil myself in anywhere. So yeah, I have no. That's the problem. Is based on the endings. Now, okay, here's a theory that I kind of just came up with. Is regardless of the ending that you choose. And again, I don't understand how they'll incorporate the other two endings, but I'm really just talking about the red ending. Okay?
Yes.
So, okay, number one, Lazarus Project is a thing. Like,
yes.
The capability of that is a thing. So, it's not as much of a stretch that it would be your shepherd coming back.
Oh.
It's not as much of one because again, Lazarus Project. Now, you see the place go kaboom at the end, right? And so that could be where he lands, and that's what's being recovered that's what they're taking up the ramp of the ship. Because that would also explain why what looks suspiciously like a Turian, which I assume is Garrus, is there as well.
How old can Turians live for?
I mean, they've got a decent lifespan.
Because people are theorizing that Liara is not in the same age of Asari as she was when we left her. Like, she's one of the 2 ages older. Because it's like, what, there's...
Think she could be matriarch at that point?
Not quite. I don't know if enough time has passed for that, but the one before that.
Here's the thing. If enough time has passed to where... Because she's young by Asari standards.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
She's young. She's very young.
Yes.
Even by the end of the series.
Yes. Extremely young.
Yeah, again, by Asari standards, to hit matriarch, you have to be over 900.
Yes. So, but there's one in between where she is and where matriarch is.
I wasn't aware that there was a third.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't aware there was a middle ground.
What is it?
It was like...
Yeah, let me look it up real quick.
Wait, so it was like... So, in the early years, which technically the Liara was still in, it's like you decide what you're going to do, and then that middle bit is, this is what you do. Right, as far as society, am I getting that?
Give me a second. I need to look at the biology.
I also don't think there's a stated like middle point. I literally think it's just you're a youngster, then you're an adult.
There's maiden, matrone, matriarch.
Oh, so that's like hierarchy, leadership type stuff.
Yeah. So you have the maiden age starts. The stage begins at puberty and is marked by the drive to explore and experience. Most young Asaris are curious and restless, and it is not uncommon for many to try their hand at dancing in bars and working as mercenaries during this time. Liara is a maiden. Matrone is the stage of life begins around age 350. Though it can be triggered earlier if the individual melds frequently, this period is marked...
We're talking about the new Mass Effect, so
by
potential new one.
A desire to settle in one area and raise children. The matriarch surge begins around 700 years of age, or earlier if the individual melds rarely. Matriarchs become active in their community as sages and counselors, dispensing wisdom from centuries of experience. Their knowledge and guidance may be one reason why matriarchs are rarely seen outside Asari space.
Okay, so hang on. So let's go back to the details of the trailer. People are theorizing that she's at a different age. I honestly, the only thing for me personally, the only thing that I would accept other than a direct continuation after 3 is if you wanted to do First Contact.
It can't be first contact.
And no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it can't be. So now this leads me to, you're going to do something that's set in basically another couple centuries after the thing. To me, as a story point, makes it no better than Andromeda. I don't care if I recognize Liara.
Oh, that's fair. What? Because how old is Liara in the games?
Like 200 something?
She's 106.
Oh, 106.
Yeah, she's only in quotes in the the Mass Effect wiki. 106.
Only. I actually think she says that line in 1. Now that I think about it, I'm only 106. Damn, look good.
So the reason why people are theorizing this is because also one of the scenes where it turns to the side, she has some new wrinkles on her face, noticeably new wrinkles, compared to where we last saw Liara. I don't think you would go into this game though with her being a matriarch.
That feels like too much time.
Exactly. So
That also feels. Well, so here's also my other problem. Is, okay, hang on. I want to pull up this trailer real quick, and I want to give my feedback on these.
Cool. Let me pull
wrinkles.
up mine, and we can kind of go over it together. Where's my profile? There it is, because I shared it a few days ago, but I've been posting a lot, so let's see if I get there. There it is. There's me crying.
So it does all the debris field, and it's like first contact, blah blah blah. Okay, so here she is walking through the snow. She's digging it up, and it's like there's the N7, and
like apparently you can kind of.
I see some skin texture. I don't necessarily see what I would call wrinkles though.
But they're different from what her, like right here. They're different from what she like had last we saw, because she didn't really have like that pull. I don't have the greatest trailer up right now. Hold on, let me go to YouTube real quick. YouTube.
I need these guys in the background to come into better focus, because I feel like at one point for like there we go, right there.
Mass Effect trailer.
Oh, I actually thought they were loading something. I actually thought they were loading something up in this thing.
Goddamn commercials.
So they're not. Yeah. So okay. So one of them standing over there, like, definitely has to be a Tyrion with the way his upper,
yes.
body like has that. That's 100% got to be a Tyrion. There's 2 humans that I can tell.
But
I don't know.
it's
The one with the kind of the left of the 3 with a longer head could be a Solarian.
Yeah, that's a Solarian. Right here's a Solarian. Where my mouse is, that's a Solarian. The one on the far left.
Yeah.
Probably a Turian on the far right. Maybe
Right.
Krogan.
Krogan. I think Krogan would be way bigger.
Yeah, I agree, but maybe a thinner Krogan.
You would have more of the width throughout the whole torso rather than at the upper bit where it expands out, like for the
But
shell.
hey, Krogans can reproduce now easier, so maybe some evolution is taking
Depending
place.
on what you chose in 3.
True. Probably a human in the center. Maybe Turian, but probably human.
I mean, it could be human because some of like his name Vega got pretty jacked, so could be him.
Well, I'm talking about in the middle.
Or it could be someone like it. Oh, I thought you were still talking about the guy on the right.
No, guy on the right's either Krogan or Turian, just based off of armor.
I would bet money it's Turian. Yeah, human. It's pretty.
My
safe
only
bet.
counter is that like the way the top piece rounds looks Krogan, because he's facing to the left. You know what I mean? And Krogan armor goes like that.
That's true. But I feel like their legs would be a little different. That looks kind of more like Tyrion to me.
Also, he could be facing. I mean, from what it looks like, this leg right here is kind of facing more to the left, is what I'm going off of, because it kind of looks like it's bent a little right here.
Yeah.
So he could be like facing more off in the forward direction. But what's throwing me off is like the little top right of that figure. It could be a Turian head looking to the right, or it could be the top of a Krogan armor.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying Krogan or Tyrion. It's one of the two. Can't be anything else. Legitimately, there's nothing else that could even pull off that shape.
Here's also my thing, and it kind of blows my original theory out of the water in terms of the whole Lazarus project thing. Is if you pull it back to the planet that they're going to. So that's not Earth.
No.
Now, if we're going with the assumption that this planet is the same planet that she is walking through snow on,
Yes.
then who knows what the heck happened here?
Yes. 100% agree.
So
that is 100% Shepard's N7 though. And that's an 100% a Solarian. And depending on if that is a Turian or a Krogan, the person next to him is either human or Turian.
So, well, here's also the thing, though. Like, if this is... It unfortunately, it bears more credence that this is not immediate continuation. Regardless of whether or not her skin is actually aged and she herself is aged, regardless of that.
Yes.
If that is a Solarian down there, then more than likely... some time has passed by at minimum, because it would be a different crew, because regardless of your choices, you don't have a Solarian in your crew in 3.
No, you do not.
Don't have it in 1 either. You only got him in 2.
No, yeah, you only get a Solarian on your crew in 2. The other reason why I think that like the middle person might not be human is just that pose is a little weird.
It looks a little weird, yeah.
Like the body structure looks a little bit more Turian than it does human in some frames, but in other frames it like, oh, that's 100% a human.
Well, the one thing that prevents me from thinking that it would be Turian is Turians usually stand taller than Solarian.
What about what's Thane?
Oh, Thane, a Drell.
Drell? Maybe Drell?
I hate that I know that.
I should know that. I hate that I don't. I used to know that way better. Or he could be a Quarian in like a helmet.
Could be Quarian. Quarian's actually a pretty valid guess, I think.
Based off of body strength, body structure, they're kind of lankier.
Well,
and that that center core looks way thinner than human, in my opinion.
Possibly, and this could also be like, it's not Tally, because you would tell definition of the hood.
Yes,
but also, if it is Quarian, would lead me to believe that it's a male Quarian.
Yes,
just based on what the helmet kind of looks like from this angle.
Like how we're picking apart the furthest details away, but we're fucking
because
in
like
it,
what
dude.
the hell else is this thing gonna tell us? Like, we got speculation. Here's why I'm not totally sold on the fact that those are wrinkles on her skin, is like graphic reworks happen that could just be the texture.
Oh, 100%. And again, they are releasing the Legendary Edition. Is it next year that gets released?
I don't know, but I cannot wait.
Oh my god, we are gonna play the shit out of that. You wanna know what's funny? One of the things we're planning, do we wait? My brain has been like, do we fucking wait?
I feel like we have to, honestly, for the slightest hope that the combat in 1 is remastered.
Oh yeah, you're right.
For the slightest hope we have
I don't want to wait on this idea though. Oh, but yeah, no, we're fucking picking this apart because we're nerds.
I would also like to retract what I said. I do believe that may be a Krogan.
Yeah,
because I can't stop looking at the armor peak.
Right? Because that's either the back of a Turian head or the top of a Krogan armor.
That's so the peak comes up noticeably above the head. Turians don't do that. They're like back behind them, kind of like this angle.
Well, he could be like, the thing is, he could be looking down to the right.
He could, but I just don't.
The problem is that person doesn't move in the frame where it's focused that way.
Yeah, no, they freaking immediately focus off them, and I'm just like, dude, why?
There's no movement from them, so we can't tell what they are. We could tell the Solarian. We could tell that this person is either like probably human, most likely human, maybe Quarian. Going to be more of a lengthier stature kind of person, like creature that's not like Solarian lengthy, but like not Taurian or Krogan like built.
So let's talk about the shuttle for a minute.
XTB.
So I have no idea what those letters can mean, but really, honestly, just the model of the shuttle. It's a different model than I've personally have seen or noticed in Mass Effect before.
It looks like it looks familiar to me.
So they had the shuttle transport, Cortez.
Yeah.
You know, as your shuttle pilot. So you saw a lot more of the shuttle in 3 than I think you did in the other previous games.
Yes, 100%.
But that's not that shuttle.
No, 100%.
Like it's a totally different model of shuttle because it's got the pronounced landing pads and stuff that come out. Like I don't think the other one.
And
had
like
that.
I don't know if that's like.
And the circular door really throws me. The circular door throws me a lot. In a space age game, the thing that I'm most thrown off by is the shape of the fucking door.
But yeah, no, like.
And I thought they were carrying something in this trailer.
100%. That is the biggest tell. Like, I'm glad everyone's like, no, that's Liara, just because she has such definitive fucking like facial freckles.
Dude, and just her eyes too. Like, even though you can just see from the corner. I mean, come on.
And the smile, like when it comes up a little bit,
if
like right there, that is Liara, 100%. Oh, other detail too. The eyes have some wrinkle too. Looking at this shot right here, where I paused it actually.
Yeah, I see that. So again, I have no problem believing that that's aging, but I'm also like,
yeah, and then like there's just more detail right here.
To me.
There's more detail like this line right here. I paused it at the perfect time this time.
Yeah, you did.
That detail right there with that like line.
Yeah. Well, I was first kind of noticing that, and like, I don't know. Okay, so now here's the thing I don't want. Okay, let's just assume for the sake of argument and discussion that is Liara and she's aged. Okay, here's what I don't want to see now. Then Shepard stays dead. Do not make him a man at a time, please.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Don't do it. Let him stay dead. Please allow the people to set their world state based on their choices. Because Dragon Age Inquisition did that and did a kind of decent job of it, even though it really didn't affect their story all that much. Please let it affect story a little more, BioWare. Thanks. But
there's only so much they're gonna do.
Dude, here's the thing. There's a select few choices that they need to make actually affect things. You know what the select choices are.
Yeah.
That's it. All the other stuff, that's fine. That's consequence, sure. Like, then you do a time jump. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is inconsequential.
Who would you play as?
As this, I would assume you would create, it would be like you would start a new thing. I think being Shepard's descendant would be pretty cool.
But counter to that, depending on who you end up with, if you end up with anyone, that kid might not be.
Kid is gonna be.
It's gonna be different.
With Liara, that's gonna be an Asari.
100%. I don't know about if you're with a Quarian, and if you're FemShep.
Yeah, what happens then? Yeah, that's fair. Well, and so like at this point, like let's assume, right? Because so Asari age like remarkably slow.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Okay, so based on that, this is showing visible signs of aging. So it's been a long time.
She's probably at least 350.
I honestly don't think that you would see aging like that in Asari below 500. Like my honest opinion on that. Since literally a species that averages their lifespan in the 1,000 range.
Well, the other thing too is like I know some of the characters who are matriarchs aren't shown to be super aged. The matriarchs we do, but also that there are graphical limitations from when they showed up.
I'm also and again, I'm going with graphical limitations here, and I still like have a strong argument against them being aged, and this could just be skin.
Oh yeah, 100% could just be skin texture.
Because graphics improved from 1 through 3. Asaris look the same regardless.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Color, freckles, the tentacle shape. Like you had variety, but at the same time, like it
wasn't a ton.
Yeah.
I don't think they would make her a matriarch.
No, I don't think she'd take the job. honestly.
Well, it's not a job; it's an age.
Like, well, so matriarchs, like, they also like it depends on them staying in a sorry space and assuming the role. And I don't think she'd take the job, even if she was the age.
Depends. I think she would, if depending on how the years in between 3 to wherever. Depends on what happens in those.
I don't think she would, and the
fucking
reason being
600 years.
Is regardless of how much time has passed, like fans need certain things to stay the same, and I feel like the fan base would agree with me in saying that she would not take a matriarch job. She would not do it.
Depends. She would teach. She probably
would teach others in the field and stuff, but she wouldn't stay to a sorry space. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair. Well, most matriarchs are seen in a sorry space. Who knows? It's been 600 years. Things could change. She could be an archaeological counselor who takes expeditions. And this just happened to be one that she took. So the other option, too, is cloning. Because I honestly do not see this game being played without a shepherd.
I don't either, because, again, like, you have to justify the thing that I messaged you about earlier.
Yes.
And again, and if it's this is why, like, I mean, I want there to be a shepherd. I 100% do. But I also
don't want her to be.
If she's aged this much, I want it to make sense, and I don't want this man to be a man out of time.
I don't necessarily want Commander Shepard to come back, because, man, that's twice now.
Right. Like, just let the poor man stay down.
So we'll see. But
because let's be real, because man, if he was anybody else in any other time period, he'd still be taking that first third nap.
Yeah. There are plenty of people who did. It was only because he's Shepard.
Yeah.
Or she. Sorry,
yeah.
mine's he, so that's just.
Mine's he as well.
I'm curious. You know what's actually something. You know what series could. Okay, weird tangent. We talked about this a little bit last week.
Okay.
You know what series could actually probably do. We talked about, companies pandering and stuff like that.
Yeah. Who
could do it in a way that wouldn't be pandering, and what franchise could do it would be Mass Effect.
And what?
Not having a character who is they them without it being like seemingly be pandering or something, because everyone depending on how your character, how they act is how people react to you. Yeah. Male or female, it's how you act.
Yeah, which is to put it simply, Paragon Renegade.
Yeah.
Like,
the only thing that your gender in that game changes is romance options, and that's solely based off of people's sexual preferences. So that's doable in Mass Effect. Weird tangent to tie this to last week, but I just thought about that because,
they could do it.
Yeah,
you are correct,
and they could do it in the remaster. Would be the place where they could kind of test the waters on it, because essentially just have it so that instead, just have the lines. You already record the lines twice every fucking time sometimes.
Right, but so that would be my other question, is that I feel would involve recording extra stuff.
They're already going to re-record everything, though, for the remaster.
Are they re-recording? Oh,
it's a remaster. It's a remaster. They're going to have to.
Okay. I have one title for you.
Huh.
Re-Reckoning.
For the remastered title?
Not saying... No.
Oh, for the...
As in Amalur Re-Reckoning. Not saying that they'll be this lazy, but your statement of, they have to do that. No, they in fact do not.
Have to do what?
That's my point. Re-record.
Oh. Well, they should. If they're going to get... Because it's going to be... The problem with, not doing it is the way they're going to be... Because, honestly, the way they're probably going to be doing this...
Current gen graphics with however many years back sound dynamics. In conversation.
And the way we do capture now for games. Like cutscenes
Right.
will be probably mocap for the most part for those scenes because most of the
Okay,
characters are
can we-
human-esque.
Can we just mentally salivate over Mass Effect mocap graphics for just a second?
It's gotta be good. They're gonna have to have different models too because like people change their face in the game, so they're gonna have to have different models for the shepherds.
Well, so
Depending.
the bone structure needs to stay roughly the same.
Yeah.
But you can. I know a little about this. You can get away with a lot based on just this is your basic template, and then here's what you can morph from that template, and it still look believable. And it's couldn't tell you how it worked, but apparently there's a surprising amount of leeway.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, if you play Mass Effect, like, every male shepherd, from what I've seen, almost every goddamn time has a jawline like the fucking goddamn gods chiseled it. You can't shrink the cheek structure far enough back to make it look like you might have more of a chin. No, this motherfucker has the, like, connection here. It's all one structure.
Question about your Mass Effect gameplay.
Yes.
Did you stick with default Shepard?
No, I changed mine.
Did you? I stuck with default. So I changed mine the first time, and then I went back and I played like with just regular. And the thing is, the character model for just regular just looks so better than anything I could come up with.
Yeah,
So I was
honestly,
like-
I regret not being basic Shep.
because there's one scene that really kind of drives it home, and it's a scene in 2. Garrus is regaling you with a story, and there's a moment where it kind of inspires a big grin from Shepard. And I've seen this scene both with a custom Shepard that I've made and then with the default Shepard. You know exactly the scene I'm talking about, and you know the creepy ass grin that custom Shepard makes. when
Yeah,
I'm
because I
talking
lived
about-
it.
Granted, that default Shepard isn't much better. We're gonna plop that up to graphical incapability at the time, but it was better than custom Shepard.
Yeah.
It was much better than custom
Yeah.
Shepard.
Mind you, I
Bro,
still got a
we've been
kick
live
out of
for
it.
almost 2 hours.
Yeah, we have. But we're talking Mass Effect and Cyberpunk, so it makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
No, dude, like, so my big thing about it is that, like, if we go, so this one's going to take place in the future.
Yeah.
Probably gonna act like Andromeda never happened. It might be a line where the Andromeda Galaxy will explode. We
The
haven't heard
Andromeda
back from
Project.
them yet.
Well, here's the thing. The
How many
Andromeda
years?
Project,
Wait, how many years does that take place later?
The Andromeda Project took place before the events of Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, but the events in Andromeda, like them leaving, happened before Mass Effect 1 or Mass Effect 2, right?
No,
It's
before 2. It happened before 2
after 1.
because you see all the flashbacks and stuff of his dad talking about some stuff,
Yeah.
and one of it is they found I think they talk about the artifact on Eden Prime.
Yeah. It's
And
before. It's
then-
before 2 because the
It's
stuff that
before 2.
happens, the
They
Shepherd
leave
hasn't
before
happened.
2.
Yeah,
They leave before 2.
but
because,
when do they wake up?
Oh, they wake up like hundreds of years after 3.
Yes.
Like in terms of actual timeline, they wake up hundreds of years after 3. There's no way. I forget the amount of time, but they went to a whole other galaxy.
Yeah,
and even
which
by
is-
Mass Effect standards, it's like you were gone a bit. So it's one of these things to where everyone that you could ever know is already dead,
Yes.
kind of thing, which is why they thought Andromeda would be a great blank slate. Unbeknownst to them,
They fucked it
Yeah,
up
so
on
got
getting
it.
over there.
yeah.
Things got a little bumpy on the way to Andromeda.
Oh
I
my
still need to go
God.
through and finish that game.
You know, here's the thing. That game is actually fun. I don't care what anybody says. That game to me was actually fun.
You just too many. It hit too many beats that one did, where I was just like mindlessly walking.
Yeah, but man, all the times that you're in combat and all the stuff you can do in combat in Andromeda though, like
Oh, that's fair. I will give you
Like-
that.
when you that's the thing. That's one of the things that like makes a game redeemable is when you have moments where you're actually playing the game. You can forgive shortcomings. You can acknowledge that they're there, but you can forgive them because you've got this other cool stuff you can do.
I guess it doesn't help that my ADD ass will like have to do everything I see. And so after a certain point, I lose track of what the main quest I'm doing. If you've watched me play Witcher, it's bad sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm bouncing between 6 different quests. I'm like, oh, I could probably do this now. I can do this at the same time.
I want to see just how hopelessly you trot around in Wild Hunt if and when you ever stream it.
Oh, I plan on going through all 3 of these.
Not in your lifetime if you keep going. So, bro, here's the thing. Witcher 2 will actually do you some favors in terms of that.
And then will Witcher 3 take it away?
Like, so Witcher 1 is kind of like what you've been experiencing, and then you've got Witcher 2, which is a tad more linear, but still plenty of opportunity for side quests and extra stuff to kind of explore. But still, like, it's pretty tame. And then there's 3.
I'm not getting out of the prologue in 3.
So the prologue is in a place called White Orchard. Just to get all of the collectibles in White Orchard, just to get all the question marks off the map, not necessarily collectibles, but skill points and side quests and all this other stuff. I remember actually clearing it for my first time once. It took about 3.5 hours.
My biggest fear is what I did in the beginning, though, is that I can't go back.
White Orchard, you actually can't. I'll say that much. So,
Missed opportunity.
I think it helps to know that you can't go back.
Yes, I had no idea about that in the beginning of this game.
I'll also say this. Any zone you are in Witcher 2 also cannot go back. However, in Witcher 3, White Orchard is the only thing that really kind of fits that mold.
Okay, see, that'll be way better for me, because then I can kind of...
And it only until a certain point in the story, and then you're allowed to go to Kaer Morhen.
Is fast travel going to be more prevalent in the later stuff? Because, like, only being able to fast travel to Calkston's goddamn house...
Yeah.
...is
so
fucking
Witcher
irritating.
3, I forget how fast travel worked in 2, if it even had it. I'll be straight up honest with you. But it honestly, it didn't need it. If it didn't have it, I'll also, like,
okay.
It's fine. Witcher 3, there are signposts, and you can fast travel to a signpost that you've discovered.
Okay.
Only from the signpost. So
okay,
you must find the
I'm cool with that. That's like Red Dead, where, like, hey, every so often, I forget that that's a thing. And I'm just like, man, it'd be real convenient that I wouldn't have to traverse all this danger. It only happens if I'm like really deep in dangerous territory and I'm afraid I'm going to die. And I'm like, I would really like to not have to restart everything I just collected so I can, I can get the hell out of here. Yeah. Well, see, and then, is the combat similar through the 3, or does it change drastically?
Changes. Oh my God. Between 1 and 2 is night and day. And then
is it going to be better? Would I rather be playing on controller for 2?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. That's good to know.
100% play on controller.
Not that like 1 is bad. I actually really like the gimmicky combat of 1. Like, I know it's 100% gimmicky, but I find it adorable.
It brings back, it's just like Mass Effect 1, honestly, is just what it was the only thing that I have to compare it to. And it kind of roughly the same kind of like progression of this was good, this is better, now it's great.
Yes.
Mass Effect, now don't get me wrong, Mass Effect 3 had its share of problems on the technical side of things, combat included, but
Mass Effect 1 was impossible to play on controller.
Well, not impossible. You'd be amazed at what you can do if you really just have to.
Oh, I know, but I'm talking about like the amount of times where I've tried to use powers and like you have to hold down on controller, like for at least for PS3, the release they had there. It was like holding down like 6 buttons, and I'm like,
Wasn't six buttons,
I know
it
it was.
was
I'm
like,
over exaggerating, but it's just
you
like
hold down the one, use the right click, use the right stick to select the one you want, and then while aiming at the thing you want to shoot at, that last bit was key.
You're multitasking 6 things. That thing's moving, so you have to follow it.
There's a bit to think about. One of my favorite. I'll give you an example of one of my favorite things as the progression of combat, and this won't be spoiling anything. As far as The Witcher goes, so you know all the signs and stuff you can cast, right? Okay, so in Witcher 2, there, I think, I remember correctly, there were some skill trees that like made that stuff a little more effective. Also, I said, well, by Witcher 3, they added on that idea and actually could change the form of the signs. So Igni, rather than just a fire blast, if you hold the key at a certain point, depending on if you unlock it, it becomes a fire stream.
Cool, because I don't use my powers for shit.
You'll need 2 and 2.
Good, because like it feels so useless sometimes. How long it takes to go.
I don't think you can beat the game without using some powers in 2. Like, I'll be straight up.
Okay, that's good to know.
And you wouldn't want to either. It's because, I mean, there's so much more fun to use.
Honestly. I like using them. It's just finding in one moments to use them instead of just using group form, swing sword. Which
now,
just butchers things.
I will say also kind of fun. So Axie, the mind control that he can do.
Yeah, probably, maybe. I don't know if I've
it's only a dialogue. It's only a dialogue option.
I don't know if I have it yet.
So like, Axie is a Witcher sign that basically allows you to influence people's slots, like almost to the point of straight up mind control, basically.
Fun.
So yeah, you have some fun dialogue choices with that. So you get it in 2 as well. It's a little bit more fanciful in 2. Well, in 3, Axie is also a thing, but is also usable in combat, which is real handy. Like,
I imagine
it's not a skill that I ever like had to upgrade combat wise in. I upgraded its effectiveness in conversations. That's really about it. But like, if a guy is holding a shield up in 3 and you can't get around it, you just Axie him and he just kind of drops in and he's like dazed, and then it basically opens him up for a crit, and it's fantastic.
I guess my other question will be, do I remain neutral in situations? Is that
No.
All right.
Nope.
There's a situation I'm coming up on where I'm gonna have to pick.
He tries so hard. He tries so freaking hard sometimes, and then sometimes he's like, "Yep, nope, fuck that." I will say in 2, your choices, you are forced choice quite often.
Okay. Because I have a neutral choice coming up that I know of, because I was trying to find someone and I accidentally read it. Right.
There are moments of 3 where, again, you pick one side or the other, or you can actually kind of do the more, nah, I'm staying out of it. Sometimes. Geralt's personality really is like, at least from what I've always seen of him of the games, he's like, he wants to keep out of things that are complicated, but at the same time, if someone's like really getting beaten down, he don't like that. So
that's how I've been trying to play him, because there's a thing coming up with Siegfried.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I don't know how I want to play that situation.
It's been a long time, but I think I know what you're talking about.
It's gonna be in the forest with the golems.
I will say, in 2, there's a moment that really, really kind of tore me, and to the point to where I had to replay the game just so I could pick the other option, because it changed. This is one of the I really love it when a game does this. Your story direction changes drastically based on the choice. Drastically, like other side of a war, drastically.
Interesting. So since in 1, it's not really defined when you are in his story, is this taking place after when like the show takes place?
No.
Okay.
1. So if I remember correctly, when he loses his memory, because that's how one starts. He's like,
Yes.
he's already, yeah.
No memory. Because that's not in the show.
Right, yeah. So his he's still in, so in the show, which is strange because the show samples the books more so. Like that's its source material. And so the game loosely resembles the books to where at a certain point he's lost his memory, and then, you know, 2 is kind of all about the struggle, like he starts getting pieces of it back, and then come 3 he has it. And that's also why in 3 they were, you know, the girl Siri.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why in 3 they felt justified in dumping that little bombshell. And you're introduced to her significance if you've never once heard of her before 3, like you've never read the books or anything, you have no clue who she is. I didn't know who she was. You're introduced.
I know she's in 3. That's all I know.
Yeah. So, she's significant to Geralt.
Yeah.
Like basically, well, so you see her in the show.
Okay. So yeah, that is the same person. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same person. So he raises her basically.
Yeah.
And so she gets in trouble. And so Geralt being Geralt, like I want you to imagine a man like Geralt, and then basically is like, my daughter's in danger. Well, that shit.
I will burn the fucking earth.
he's a bit more subtle, but you can tell in 3 in particular, like he is just in no mood for people's bullshit.
So wait, does that mean so this takes place after they meet in 1? Have they met each other by 1, or is it before that?
They've met each other by 1.
Okay, so it's technically after where
right.
1.
So in terms of, okay, hang on. So if we're talking about the show, right?
Yeah.
The show is like years before, from for the purpose of our conversation, the show takes place years before the first opening scene of Witcher 1, the game.
Okay.
The thing that, now funny enough, the scene where where Geralt like the intro movie for Witcher 1, like, did you watch it? The intro
Most
cinematic.
It's the scene where it's the dude had his daughter locked in the thing, right?
So
who turned into a monster.
So it's Foltest's daughter.
Yeah.
Like the king's daughter, as in from the show.
Yeah. I put that together.
That's the story that they sample for that cutscene. I forget which one they used for 2. I don't really think they used one for 2. They used something, but oh no, they actually used somebody else for the cinematic in 2. Never mind. So yeah, so by the time the start of 1 happens, they, like, there is a point that like Ciri, Geralt and Yennefer like had gotten separated for some reason, and he starts kind of piecing it together what happened in 2. Like, Ciri's never mentioned, and then come 3, it's like he didn't even know Ciri was back, and then because he's been trying to find Yennefer, and so this isn't much of a spoiler. He ends up finding Yennefer because, you know, it's The Witcher and it's them.
Duh.
And then that's when the whole thing with Ciri kind of starts.
She's not. So Yennefer's not in 1.
Not that I recall. No.
Okay. I've been kind of like, I've been like this. I've been trying to, because 1, the show itself is so over the timeline, with itself, that it makes it hard to piece together when that takes place. Because I haven't read the books, piecing that together to this is hard to do because I don't have my memories in this game. So I'm like, when?
So fun fact, like, the way that the first couple of books are written, I think, of the series,
are they like that?
That is how they're written, evidently.
Which is
just go
awesome, in my opinion.
Over the fucking place. Yeah, because it's not one story. It's a collection of shorter stories that tell about Geralt's adventures and stuff. Yeah, and I think it's like the second, or I think it's the third book of the series, as I recall, because I researched them, because like I wanted the whole series, which they're astronomically hard to find.
Are they?
Dude, I couldn't find them. Like I couldn't find them before the Witcher series came out, and I'd stopped looking for a little while before the Witcher and then the Witcher series came out, and I actually made it to a bookstore before everything got shut down. And the girl that basically worked there is like, yeah, because of the show and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
So you're telling me canonically in my game, Toss a Coin exists and is the Billboard #1 single for when it came out.
In the region that you're in.
Let's be real, it's a worldwide record-setting song.
You say so.
You can't.
I'll be honest. I have never heard that song to my knowledge in the games.
I know it is original to the show, but I want in my head that is a #1 single that people just know.
I hate that song.
Why? It's fantastic.
I hate it so much.
Jay.
I hate it because that character, I believe, is based off of Dandelion, and that is just a character that also annoys me in the games. I'm just like...
Are they supposed to be the same character? Because I just met Dandelion.
Honestly, I don't... That's the thing. I don't know. Like...
Because he's a bard. I think his character's in 3 from what I looked into.
Dandelion?
No,
yeah,
the other bard.
Oh, shit. What is his name?
I think he's in 3. He's got like a mustache and everything and like wears red. Hold on, let me look him up. Bard from Witcher, Netflix. Julian.
Jaskier.
Oh, Jaskier. Sorry, the
Jaskier.
actor popped up.
Okay. So, here. No, but I actually just did this. I went Jaskier, Witcher 3, and it came up with Dandelion as top pick.
Huh.
So, like, I always assumed... Yeah, and actually, there's an article that talks about here's why Dandelion is named Jaskier in the Witcher show.
Weird.
So, yeah. He has the... Like, that is Dandelion. Like, in the games. Like Jaskier.
Okay.
Or Jaskier, however you say his name. Like...
Oh, it's the same first name. Julian Alfred Handkrix.
But yeah,
better known as Dandelion, Polish, Jaskier. So that is, Jaskier is Dandelion in Polish, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
Hold on. We're going to have some fun here. I'm going to put Jaskier. Translation. Buttercup. It's a type of flower. Okay, you know, that's actually
well played.
That's good.
Well played. Bro. We need to wrap on this discovery.
Yes, 100%. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you, if you're watching on YouTube or whatever, hit the like buttons, subscribe, hit the bell. If you're listening to us on podcast services, you know, follow, rate, whatever is available helps us out. And then you can join us live on Tuesdays around 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sorry, there was a weird burp there midway through that. Gotta love it. Over on twitch.tv/HarHQ, and you can follow us on our socials, Instagram and Twitter. So until next week, thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you then. Good night.